the manager wanted me to go in goalie for like the first half of the match. I
Right,
went
right.
there.
Watching us on YouTube, they
Yes.
must have observed our similar outfit today. So, hello and welcome everyone to episode number 84 at the Indie Football Podcast. We have quite a few prospects of episode number 84 in our WhatsApp groups. Me and Anukarsh sir know that, but we are very happy to host our first Italian guest on the Indie Football Podcast, which is Alessandro. He looks, he is as young as he looks. He's only 17 years old. He started his content journey 4 years ago as a teenager, and thank you, Alessandro, for taking out the time. It's been an eventful last 24 to 48 hours for you. A bit of a sleep deprived one, if we are to go about with whatever you have shared with us so far. How are you feeling today, Alessandro?
I'm fine. Thank you a lot for your invite to your podcast. It's my first ever podcast. I had never been in one, so it was a pleasure to accept your invite. And I also was really excited when I received your messages. I'm a bit tired today because I slept like 3 hours, but I'll get all the energy that I have left in this podcast in this half an hour or hour. I don't know how
Yeah.
long it could take, and nothing. I'm just happy to be here.
We are gonna keep it somewhere in between for the sake of you. Anukar sir, I'm gonna start with a non-football question for you. I'm sure when your dental exams, the comparative exams are nearby, even you have lived off many 3 hour, 4 hour sleep days, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, there have been days like that, definitely. But I think those are the days which you remember the most, in which
Yeah,
you gave your all. And I think the days I remember more fondly with those 3 hour works, 3 hour sleeps have been times when when we have worked together for IFP, you and I, making presentations or sometimes pitching to
yeah,
a brand. So I think
yeah,
those are nights which are more, unforgettable in a nice way in that regard. But yeah. Alessandro, it's quite some time for which I had wanted you to come on our podcast. I mean, Italy is some a country definitely very close to me. I'll give you a little trivia. Although Doipayan is the one who gives trivias on the podcast, that is that in 2007, there was the Champions League final between Liverpool and AC Milan. I think that was one of the first Liverpool FC matches which I had watched as a fan, and I remember Kaka playing in that match, and there were other players, Inzaghi scoring a couple of goals, and absolutely breaking my heart when I was barely 7 or 8 years old. So I think that was my first rendezvous, or like first meeting with Italian football, for that matter. So when you came in, it was like my childhood coming back to me. So yeah, Alessandro, welcome to the Indie Football Podcast. We are proud to host you here. And do tell us a bit about a journey as a fan, as a content creator, creating such wonderful content. How do you go about it? How did the journey start? Give us a bit of an insight into it.
okay, thank you. I started when I was 13. I started in my
Okay.
room alone during COVID-19. I was very bored at the time, and
Mhm.
I just wanted to do something to like spend my time on. And firstly, I started to do memes, and also now I
Oh,
do memes. But then I become a real football fan when I was 13. Um, because I started my football shirt collection, and from that time, my passion grow and grow in time for football, and I also did some content about football. And my first passion now is football. But unfortunately, I stopped playing football at 12. I was a goalkeeper, and they called me because I was very good at 12, the young Buffon. But
young
oh,
Buffon.
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But I mean,
But
I'm
why did
not.
you stop goalkeeping?
Hmm? Sorry.
Why did you stop goalkeeping?
My
Why did
father
you
was a
stop goalkeeping?
goalkeeper.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. My father was a goalkeeper, so I like wanted to be like him, and I started being a goalkeeper too. Also because I wasn't that great with my feet, So I changed it and I tried with my hands. I was very way better. And when I was 8, 9, 10, I was very tall for my age. But now I stopped. I mean, I'm normal. I'm 180. But at that time I was tall, and I was the greatest goalkeeper. And I also wanted to join the academy of AS Roma. But because I was that good, my manager wanted me to play with the under 16 team when I was 10. And
Right.
I mean, they were too big for me, like they were too old for me. And the manager wanted me to go in goalie for like the first half of the match. I
Right.
went
Right.
there. At the first shot that I received, I broke my arm
Oh.
with the ball. And I mean, my career ended there because I had to do 6 months of recovery after the arm broken. And I changed my sport and I started playing basketball, and it became my second favorite sport to do.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know,
While I was, and sorry to interrupt you, though, I just have a story
no,
to
no, please go
share
ahead.
since
Yeah,
we are
yeah,
talking about
please,
goalkeeping.
please.
Though I was never a buffer, but there was this one time when we were playing intersection, like the same grade but different classes in the school. And I remember goalkeeping. That was, I think, my first time properly goalkeeping in a match. And I made a lot of saves. And Liverpool goalkeeper at that time used to be Simon Mignolet. So everyone in school started to call me Mignole, 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 and that became my nickname. Few days after that, we were, I think, in ninth grade, and we had a match against the 12th graders, and I pulled off some saves. The next day, some 12th graders ran up to me in the morning as soon as I came out from my bus, and they were like that, man, you are so good. You should do this more professionally, and this that. And I thought that this is my calling. This is what I want to be. A year later, when I entered 10th grade, I conceded 5 goals in the match. I did not do goalkeeping after that again, and again, like, I switched to basketball a year or so after that. And now my story, which I want to tell you about, it is not a comeback story, because in college I went to another college to representing my college, do goalkeeping in a match, and we ended up losing that match 10-0. And after that, I knew that goalkeeping wasn't really my calling. So yeah, I mean, mine is an opposite of your story, to your story. But yes, I wanted to share this event, for our viewers.
Thank you.
But were you the one conceding all the 10 goals in that match?
No, no, I conceded 5. I was subbed off at halftime.
Okay, okay. So you can say that the humiliation was shared half by you and the other person.
It's not all your fault.
Well,
Yeah,
it's not all your fault.
yeah.
Alessandro, just uh, a couple of things that I wanted to ask because, of course, as we shared at the beginning of this episode, that we haven't really had many Italian guests to have in our podcast so far in our 30-month journey. But you mentioned AS Roma. Tell us more about the club. Most of our listeners are here from India who only followed Serie A probably during the years when Ronaldo went there as a Juventus player. I followed AS Roma last year because Jose Mourinho was at the helm of things for them. And of course, sadly, he got sacked at the end of last season. I thought he
Luckily.
was, I thought he was, taking the club to a direction. They were competing at the Europa League as well. Although, of course, I do agree that there were areas that probably the team could have done better. So please tell us more about the club for all our Indian viewers.
Okay. I mean, AS Roma is a very strange club because the supporters are very passionate. I mean, we live for AS Roma. Is our main thing in our lives. We like support AS Roma at 100%, and it's a strange club, as I said, because we don't see our players as players. So we see them as a part of our families. And every time that we buy someone or we change our manager, it's a great thing for us. And the thing that De Rossi become the manager of AS Roma was a great thing because when he played, he was a legend for us, and to have him as a manager was one of the greatest things that happened last year for AS Roma. Also more important than reaching the semifinals of Europa League. And
Mm-hmm.
the thing with Mourinho is very strange because, firstly, when he arrived, everyone was exciting. Everyone wanted to see AS Roma plays with under Mourinho. I mean, we were exciting at all. Like when Dybala arrived, also we were enthusiastic about that idea. Oh my God, Dybala, one of the greatest player of the Serie A, arrived to Rome. Oh my God, that's something incredible. But luckily, with Dybala, we are still happy with him. But with Mourinho, we changed our opinion fastly, very quickly, because. His type of play was very very boring and very different from the other style plays that were before Mourinho. And I was happy when we sacked him and we like signed De Rossi for that reason. The type of play that De Rossi wanted to give to AS Roma was completely different from the Mourinho's one, and the Daniele Rossi one is very exciting and is fast. You can see the players running way more and passing the ball less, and for that reason, also the results that AS Roma had during the season improved a lot because when
Right,
Mourinho
right.
was sacked, we were ninth in the Serie A,
Right, yeah,
and
yeah.
we arrived fifth, so it's not bad.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Right.
Anugar sir, I have something to ask you over here because, of course, you started the show by mentioning something that happened way back in 2007, which, if Alessandro has already celebrated his 17th birthday this year, is the year when he was born, which automatically makes you very old, the oldest person in this panel today. And I would take every opportunity to make you feel that way. But no, jokes apart. But of course, you have struggles with the back as well already. But
Yeah.
he mentioned Alessandro just mentioned about De Rossi, who was a great player for the club and then became a manager for them. So he receives a lot of love by the club fans as well. I could say the same for someone like Xavi, who was a player for Barcelona, then came back as a manager, did pretty well, at least how they were performing earlier, comparing to that. And then, of course, there was Zidane, who did the same for Real Madrid. Earlier, he was a player. He came back as a coach. He made them win many trophies. Uh, do you think this kind of player to coach transition for someone really makes him immortal for a specific football club?
I wish. I mean, if De Rossi wins something like a Serie A, a Coppa Italia, probably he will be remembered as a legend forever for us. But it
Yeah,
depends if his management collapse. I mean, if
yeah,
he does bad during the next season, probably we will still love him as a player, but not as a manager. Like the thing that happened with Xavi. Firstly, the Barcelona fans loved him, but then the results were poor during his management. I mean, he changed. I mean, he was sacked. I think that he
yes,
was sacked.
yes,
And
absolutely.
I mean, they probably still love him as a player, one of the greatest midfielders ever, but probably they won't have a great. But when they think about a great manager of Barcelona, probably they won't think about Xavi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Even
Yeah.
like now that we are talking about legendary managers that Doifan mentioned, let's talk about a legendary player. Francesco Totti. And of course, the reason I mention it definitely makes me reiterate what Doipayan says when it feels about when talked about feeling that like that I'm old, because Francisco Totti played a long time back, like somewhere in the early 2000s. And we all know him as a Roma legend. We all know how much he contributed to the club. His loyalty, of course. Cheekily, many people made a cheeky remark that he wasn't as loyal to his girlfriends, but he was definitely always loyal to AS Roma. That's the player he was always finding the back of the net. Do you think that sort of player, that sort of brand of players, that sort of breed of players aren't that present anymore? Do you think the game has become a lot more commercial now? Or the business of sports has become a lot different in that way? Or do you feel that players are still there, clubs are not doing enough to cultivate those sort of values in the club?
It's a very tricky question. I have behind me
That's what we do at the Indie Football
the
Podcast.
Rossi there. This
Yeah.
is the
Yes.
Rossi,
Yeah,
and wait, in the other part here is Totti, and also behind me there is Totti
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They are my god of football, and as you said, probably these type of players don't exist anymore. I mean, there
Yeah.
are only a few of them, but I mean, it's a hard question because my father always told me the years before you were born were the greatest because there were the real legends, the players that play for the club, not for money. It was a great time,
Right, right, right. I think there's
Absolutely.
some.
Alessandro has absolutely got carried away by what his father had to say to him about football
Yeah,
players
it's
from
like time.
earlier.
It's like time I stopped at the Indie Football Podcast. That's how much everyone loves their dads. Everyone on the panel. But
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. But I think
yeah,
Anukarsh sir, we should take this opportunity to tell our viewers about if they are, shrewd observational people watching us on YouTube. They
yes.
must have observed our similar outfit today. So of course, this outfit today we have been given. Of course, Anukarsh sir, do you want to mention them because you were the guys who got them on board for us?
Yes. So yeah, this is the goats jersey. You might ask who the goats are. I'll just turn around. And if you can see
Yeah.
me, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I hope that
Yes.
wasn't an
Same for me as well.
awkward camera pose. But yeah, we are
Yeah.
trying to make the Indie Football Podcast more fun with every episode. But
Yeah.
yeah, these have been powered by Shaw Football. You can call them our sponsors for this episode because they have been very kind enough in gifting us
but
these jerseys, and we
Yeah.
look forward to more collaborations with them. And guys, please go to Shop Football and please buy jerseys because I think they are doing a
Absolutely.
fantastic job. And now that we talk about doing a fantastic job, we have Alessandro back with us on the Indie
Yes.
Football Podcast. So yes, Alessandro, please do tell us about what you were saying about Roman legends, and please do tell us about your father's learnings. We look forward to it.
Sorry, I crashed. I don't know what happened to my interconnection.
No worries, mate. No
But
worries.
now I'm back. Unfortunately,
Yes.
I'm vertical now because my
Yes.
computer was connected to the
No
Wi-Fi.
worries. No worries.
Uh,
Yeah.
You said you were a goalkeeper, but it seems like you were a right back because you're right back into this episode. And with that bad joke, you can continue what you were saying.
We'll probably edit it out.
and
Yeah.
Yeah. But
and
Alessandro, we were just talking about the outfits that that Shop Football have been very kind enough to send. It's a brand here in football, here in India. There are not many football stores going about. So, of course, those are the people, which I feel is a very nice, way to tell probably the audiences about your football shirt collection, which is something that I'm sure you have a story to share.
yeah, I also, as I said at the beginning of the episode, I have a huge football collection. I mean, huge in my opinion. I have barely 100 football shirts.
That's a lot.
Sometimes
Yeah,
I,
that's a lot.
yeah, my parents are not that happy because they had to. I mean, they bought me all them because I don't work, I'm only 17, so I'm studying right now, and nothing. They had to bought me all the shirts, and my favorite one probably is the Argentinian one from the World Cup 2022, the away kit, because it was a gift of my friends.
Yeah.
My birthday is in October, and in October
What's the date?
2022, huh?
Oh, what's the date?
Uh, 6th, the 6th of
Uh,
October.
oh,
And when it was my birthday, I asked to my friends to get for me the Argentina shirt, because I was sure that Messi was going to win that World Cup, and luckily he
Yeah.
did. And I had the opportunity to have a Argentina shirt with the number 10 behind and Messi before it was extincted, because when the Messi won the World Cup, all the football shirts of the Argentina team was, I mean, they were unbuyable everywhere. They were all finished in all the world. So this is my favorite shirt with the connection that I have with it, and also I loved it because it's beautiful. It's purple. I will show it right now, but it's washing right now, so I can show it. I can
No
show a lot
worries.
of these other shirts. I
Yeah.
wanted to also wear today the English shirt if they won, but Spain won, so I have it next to me.
Oh yeah, it looks great, man. It looks great. Tell us more about
yeah,
the matches that you saw over the last 24 hours. As we were talking, we
yeah.
had the Europa. At the time of recording today is today's 15th July here. I just had to check. I just forgot. Today's 15th July, and of course, Italy. You are 4.5 hours before the Indian Standard Time, so that's a very nice and indirect way of saying how our podcast has gone global. But uh, on 14th July, we had the Europa. We had the European Championships final and the Copa America final. Of course, everyone knows Spain won it, and later and after a few hours and after a Messi injury that got him subbed off at the 60th minute, and images of him crying made the circles in social media. Argentina has won yet another title, which makes it two consecutive Copa America titles with a World Cup in between. This is my question to both of you. Probably Alessandro goes first. Is the Messi versus Ronaldo debate closed now?
Yeah, I think so. I think it ended in the 2022 when he won the World Cup. I
Yeah.
always have been a huge Messi fan, and I argued a lot with my friends because they thought that Ronaldo was better. But in my opinion, the GOAT was Messi, and it remains Messi right now. And the debate probably is finished. But I mean, if you like Ronaldo, you can think that Ronaldo is the GOAT. But I mean, the facts are speaking, the trophies are speaking, everyone is speaking, and I think that the greatest of all time right now is Messi. Probably in the future, Yamal could be, but I'm not sure. He's too young to say. He's also younger than me, and I mean, it's strange to see. And I mean, Messi is the greatest player that I ever saw and playing. I fell in love with him during a semi-final, in 2019, I think, against Liverpool, when he did that magical free kick,
Yeah,
and I fell
absolutely.
in love there. And I mean, my life changed when I saw that free kick. I don't know, something in my brain turned it on, and I become one of. I mean, in Italy, one of the greatest Messi fans. Probably in Argentina, they are way more fun than me, but here in Italy, I think, and I talk about him all the time.
That went
So,
right into Anukar's heart. You know, when you said your favorite moment is when Liverpool conceded a goal, that went right and pierced a bit of Anukar's heart. Because just in case you did not know, Anukarsh is a big Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You-
Wait.
you-
Then I have something for you.
Sure.
Of
I
course,
look forward to it.
a person who has more than 100 t-shirts would probably have something for every football conversation. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
absolutely
was
not
making
surprised.
I was doing a ratio
Yeah,
proportion what Alessandro is to jerseys you are to books. Like I think if you can turn the camera around, our viewers can see the number of
yeah,
books you have in a room.
yeah, absolutely. I
Okay, I
think
do.
Yeah.
more than half of them are
Alessandro,
fixed.
before you show me the surprise, I wanted to show you the book collection that Doipan has, and I was just
Yeah, yeah,
comparing your jersey collection with his book collection.
yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
then
So
I
as
want
I
to
just
show
told you,
you the.
Yeah,
so
please. Yeah,
like a lot of them are sports books. Yeah. So yeah, Alessandro,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying.
Then
please.
I want to show you the best football team in England right now. That, as you said,
Okay.
is Liverpool. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I have it. Here you are.
uh,
I, I also bought another one, the one of the past season, the white and the green one, because my favorite
Right.
color is green. So I had to bought it. But it's watching too because, as I said at the beginning of the episode, I just returned from England and I had
yeah.
a lot of clothes that I have to wash. Um, and that's it. And if you
Absolutely.
want, later at the end of the episode, I can show you all the collection. I mean, I can bring the phone
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
show my. I don't know how to call it in English. I just forgot. But I mean,
Yeah.
No worries,
But
no
I think
worries.
this is
I think that's a very kind gesture on your part, Alessandro, to show us your jersey collection. And
yeah,
coming back to the question, of course, like which Doipan asked, that even for me, the GOAT debate seems over. For me, I think I always felt that Messi was a tad bit better, but I think they love Ronaldo's work ethic and how much he has worked to get there. So I think both players are great in their own right. But yeah, when Messi scored that goal, that was a dagger to my heart also. But yeah, I will always mention whenever anyone mentions that Messi free kick that Liverpool went on to win 4-0 in the second leg. But that's for the history
yeah,
books. But yes, that free kick will always be, I think, the goat free kick in Champions League football, maybe. Because come on, man. I mean, no one was expecting that to go in. I remember watching that match with a couple of my friends in the college hostel some years back, and we were not expecting it. We were just fantasizing that it might go in, but there's no. It's a long way out. There has to be a lot of curve on it. But as soon as that went in, I remember being in the moment and just being numb, absolutely numb,
yeah,
because it was quite surprising. But yeah, definitely. It seems the debate is over. Coming back to the Euros, and this might be a bit of a tough question to answer for you. Now, Italy, let's talk about them for that matter. I mean, of course, they have always been in the controversies. We know the Italy versus France final. Of course, you might have seen videos of Zinedine Zidane, that headbutt incident, or we all know how good they have performed in the Euros at times. We know how Manuel Locatelli absolutely lit it up a few years back, and Italy has always had some great players, controversial figures also like Mario Balotelli, for that matter. So, how do you evaluate Italy's matches in the Euros? What is your reaction to them getting knocked out a bit early? And how do you see the rest of the years coming in for Italian football?
I mean, unfortunately, I don't see great years for Italy to come because we have a huge problem. We don't have a younger player as Spain has, as England have, as every nation has, but Italy, unluckily, is different because we think in Serie A that when someone is 23, he's still young. When someone is 25, he's still young. But in Spain, it's completely different. Young players are 17 and 16, as it has to be. But in Italy, it's different. Like I knew a player, Calafiori,
Yeah, yeah, of
uh,
course, the defender.
and he was one of my friends when I was a child, and
Oh, interesting.
is I mean, and I saw him to. I mean, we weren't in contact when he was playing in the Euros, because we friends like when we were 5 or 6, something like that. But when he was 11, or I don't know. But I continued to follow his football journey, and when he was 17, he was a player for AS Roma, and he told me that the manager at that time, I think it was Fonseca, didn't want him to play because he was too young, and he
Yeah.
made him his debut at 19. And at 19, Yamal probably could have 100 appearance for Barcelona. So the system of young people, young players, is completely different from the other states in Europe. So we don't have we can change a generation fast, and probably to see something like the Euro of 2021, we have to wait 10 years. Probably, I wish. I mean, it could be great to qualify for the World Cup again after 12 years, but I don't know. Probably something in my head tell me that we won't qualify again, and I don't see, as you said, great years for Italy to come.
You know,
Probably,
something that comes to my mind regarding Italian football, and of course, it's been a great conversation where we have always, in the last half an hour, found a mix of speaking about the present and the past, owing to Anukar's long age and the years that he has seen. I just love how I'm finding different ways today, but I'm on fire
They are
actually.
going
I
quite.
think I'm on
They are
fire
going
today.
quite.
Yeah, so I remember the first bit of Italian football, or the earliest bit of Italian football that I knew of, was through a Netflix series that I had seen of a person called Roberto Baggio, who missed that famous penalty kick, and
yeah,
goes down as such a rich part of Italy's history, even though it's kind of dubious. And if you have any of you watched that series?
Yeah, a man died while standing. Na?
Yes, yes, yes. A
probably
man
I'm
died
the
while
only
standing.
Italian. Probably I'm
Yeah.
the only Italian that didn't saw it, because
Oh,
during the year I had to study a lot. So I'm not a great TV series viewer. I mean, I prefer films, so I have to surely watch it, but I didn't right now, unfortunately.
I think
But
I think it was a documentary though, but you
yeah,
should see it because how they filmed entirely in terms of how it was his entire life's mission to take Italy, to ensure Italy wins the World Cup. I think that was a World Cup 1992 or the 1994. Sorry, of course 92 did not have. It was the 94 World Cup, and how his entire life had led to that moment, and after that how his father had conversations to him that his career is much beyond that one penalty kick that he had missed. So I really enjoyed how they articulated that moment, which of course, and later on I came to realize that it was really a big deal, Baggio missing that penalty kick. But it was
yeah,
something that people still talk about. So it was quite something, right, Alessandro?
yeah. I mean, that moment, my father remember it well, a lot, because he told me about that moment all the nights when the uh, 2018 World Cup were. I don't know, something in his head was thinking all the time about that penalty of Baggio, and he told me the story of that penalty a lot of times. And I also saw a lot of different videos about that moment. In Italy, we have YouTube channel called Cronache di Spogliatoio that does documentaries all the time, and one of my favorite videos of them is about the penalty of Baggio. And unfortunately, I wasn't born yet, so I can't speak about my emotion in that moment. But as my
Let
parents
alone,
says to me,
you know,
and
let alone, let alone you not being born at that time. Even Anukarsh sir was a thought in his parents'
Yes,
mind. So of course.
yes, yes.
But I
Yeah,
think,
but
yeah, yeah,
before we
Anukarsh
end
sir.
this episode, you told us about, if I'm not pronouncing the name wrong, Umbro, right? The
Yeah,
company which you
that
have
is right.
worked with. Uh, you told us that your followers were very happy for you, and it was quite an experience to work with such a big company like that. Tell us a bit about it. Tell us a bit about how big it felt like after creating this sort of content. Because the content is really discreet, it's something which is very funny and has the right sort of humor, right sort of sarcasm. So tell us a bit about how you got that deal and how much it meant to you. Just give us a bit of an insight for our viewers.
Yeah.
during the November of 2023, I did a video that went very viral, and it reached now 16 millions of views. And it was a joke. And in that joke, I was wearing Umbro socks. So they reached me for that reason, and Umbro Italia, that is the company of Umbro in Italy, asked me to do a collaboration, and they sent me some clothes, and I had to wear them in a video. And because the video went viral too, they decided to send me more clothes to do more videos. And now they sent me 3 shirts of their new collection. And I mean, for me, for a teenager to have this opportunity to work with a huge company is very exciting, because before that I didn't had at all any collaboration. And when Umbro contacted me, I had other 5 offers to collaboration from small companies. And obviously for me it was a pleasure to work with, I mean, also a small company, but Umbro was a great thing. And luckily I had another 3 collaboration, and they didn't pay me yet, unfortunately. But I mean, for me, there aren't any problems. I accept all the type of things that they send me, and I'm just happy to I mean, to be rewarded for my videos, my content, and I'm happy that the people like it. And I want to show you my favorite shirt that a company sent me.
Yeah,
And
please.
Yeah, please go ahead.
it's a very funny shirt in my opinion, and I love it. But my moms tell me every time that she's offended by this shirt, because it's a bit controversial. I'll show you.
Yeah, of course. Anything controversial always brings in the views, right? So we don't mind it.
This is
Absolutely.
the shirt.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you can read it.
FBI, yeah, yeah.
You should read the
Finance.
full form. You really should.
This is the shirt. I love it. And also a video that I did with this shirt went viral too, and it reached 3 million views. And
Finance.
the little company was very happy because they received a lot of orders. So I'm just happy to do my content. Probably I will buy it if I saw it. The thing that they sent me for free was way better. I mean, I was just happy to do that. So I mean, I don't know if you have collaborations. I
I
saw
know.
Yeah,
on
I
your
think,
page that
we talked
you,
about this.
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I
we talked
saw
about this.
also, I saw
Yeah,
also on your page that you did something with Chelsea.
yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
So, Anukarsh sir,
Chelsea FC.
please share the story.
Yes. Yes. I like how I am taking the storytelling pattern today. So
Yeah,
we did an event with four Chelsea fan clubs in Mumbai, which is a very prominent city in India. You might have heard of Mumbai. It's kind of
Yeah, yeah.
it's the financial capital here in this country. When we did that, Chelsea FC approached us, wanting us to make a video of the screening and send it to them. Also, other than that, Doipan here has went to Stamford Bridge and met people there. He has talked with John Scammell there. Amit Jakate from our team, who is our business development head, also was there during the study trip. Also, Doipan has also met Hasselbank, who is a former Chelsea
yeah.
FC player. So, like, we
Jimmy
have
Floyd
those
Hasselbank.
collaborations
Yeah,
with Chelsea FC.
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh,
Probably
I
your collaboration is way better than mine. I wish I
no,
was you in that moment. Chelsea is
no.
also a
So
great team, in my opinion.
yeah. And
Well,
I just want.
Ricardo Calafiori, I think that in itself is a big achievement because I mean, you even showed us the Arsenal jersey. He's very apparently he's very close to a move towards them. Do you think there's a here we go there, or do you think there's time before that move happens, Alessandro?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? My connection decided to not work anymore as before. Can
Yeah,
you repeat?
yeah. I was
Can you
saying
tell me
that
again?
Calafiori has been linked to a move to Arsenal FC this transfer window, and there have been talks that the move is as good as done. So, do you think that is actually happening, or do you think he's gonna stay in Italy for one more season?
I don't know. I think that he will move because for players, surely the Premier League is the best place to be. I mean, if the fee was something about 40 million euros, I think, and probably for that club, 40 millions could be a great, I mean, fee to
Yeah,
leave him, and probably he will be happy to join Arsenal. And I mean, the Premier League is the best. Um,
League in the
and the
world.
best place to be as a player, and the best
yeah.
environment, the best football league in the world, probably. So I will be happy.
You know,
Absolutely.
I would just end this episode by with two statements which I think is worth adding here. First thing is Anukarsh sir mentioned that Mumbai is the financial capital of our country, and the richest people of Mumbai are also among the richest people in the world, and right now they are getting a marriage done in their house, and they're calling superstars from all over the world, and they're making them perform. And with this, I'm just very happy how I've been able to put an Ambani wedding context joke in this here. So, Alessandro, just for context, Mukesh Ambani is among the richest people here in India, and usually I don't consume content outside sports, but his son got married earlier this week, and everyone and my Instagram is just flooded of people from that wedding because it has got even the FIFA president coming and
Oh,
dancing
okay.
over there. You know. And second thing, I'm just wondering if we should. I'm just wondering if we should call this episode name this episode after the T-shirt that you just showed us. FBI
For
that your
me,
mom also found offended. You know.
for
Yeah.
me, it's
So
fine. I love the shirt, so for me, it's fine to call this episode like this. I will be happy to if you do that.
yeah. But Anukar sir, it's been quite a conversation, right? I think Alessandro is the first 17-year-old person we are talking to after Daksh. Daksh was
Yeah,
is a fellow friend, and he was episode 23 or 24, I guess, if I'm not wrong. So
yeah.
it's been an
Yeah.
insightful conversation with Alessandro, right?
Absolutely. I think I'm so happy that I saw one of Alessandro's viral reels, and I'm so happy that,
Yeah.
that was the moment I was like, let's take up and let's see if we can come on the Indie Football podcast. So, yeah, thank you so much, Alessandro, for coming in. just to let you know, this is not our only collaboration with you. We look forward to keeping the group active. We look forward to, talking more with you in the future, having knowing more about our shirt collection. Do tell us whenever there are new life updates, whatever happens in Italy. If in the Indie Football podcast could do some collaboration or have some IP in Italy, that would be great. In any way, we would absolutely love to work with you, or maybe do anything
Also,
related to Italian football. If there's, we would love for you to be our POC in that regard, because we really enjoyed doing this episode, and we look forward to doing an episode or some live stream with you very very soon. So thank you, Alessandro. It was a pleasure having you, man.
thank you guys to invite me. I also enjoyed a lot this stream, and nothing. I'm sorry for the connection that I lost during the episode, but
No,
I
no excuse.
recovered the problem. I used my phone, so it should be fine now.
Yeah, yeah,
So
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely,
yeah,
so
absolutely.
it's
thank you a
absolutely
lot
fine.
again, and it was a pleasure to be in a podcast for my first time. So thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Pleasure,
Thank
pleasure,
you, Alessandro.
pleasure.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care.